Let's see. Let's start at the beginning. This is the Five of Wands. And you know, wands, fives actually are challenges. This is upside down. So it does look like you have met and mastered some challenge. Maybe you were the focus of gossip or people hating on you, but it looks like, you know, water off a duck's back. It looks like it has not really affected you that much, maybe just pissed you off a little bit, but it hasn't really held you emotional hostage. But, you know, it isn't because people think badly of you. It's because you're doing things that most people don't have the courage to do. So it's more like envy or jealousy. And since it is upside down, it hasn't really affected you. You haven't been thrown in the middle of it, but it does look like it is continuing to go on, but it hasn't stood in the way of your greatness, and you are able to walk right through this and realize that these people are living small, and this is a bit of jealousy on how you live your life and how you go after your passions. You have a lot of courage that other signs do not. So have compassion. If they are living little lives, have compassion. And you don't really have to engage in it. It doesn't really look like it's something that affects you anyway, but it does look like it has continued for a while. It is upside down, so it may be coming to slowing down a little bit. And it does feel like it's maybe between these two queens, and it does not necessarily mean those are women, but usually queens are about, you know, being prominent, being kind, can be around earthly pleasures, things like that. They can be people. So let's look at what crosses you two. This is the Seven of Cups. And the Seven of Cups is kind of like the bucket list. Is it time for you to redo your bucket list? Have you already met and mastered a lot of your challenges? And it also can stand for looking at the world as it is. You know, it is what it is till it's something else. So look at situations as they truly are, not as you wish them to be. And then you'll be able to resolve some of these things. But it does look like you're letting go of a lot of things from your past. You're looking at things a little bit more intensely, and maybe not ignoring some things that you need to take care of. But it is looking at things honestly and also creating new dreams, hopes, and desires. So, but it can be living in a fog, basically. So look at things how they truly are, and then you can resolve from that place of truth. The Queen of Wands is above here, and the Queen of Wands is about socially prominence. It could be information about a possible difficulty. It can be, you know, are you being honored? Are you being honorable? And it can stand for a fire sign, which is Leo, Sagittarius, or Aries. So, actually, this does feel like a person. This feels like a person that is kind of socially prominent. She's a warm person, or he can be a leader, is a good leader as well. So this does feel like somebody that kind of heralds you, that maybe protects you, is a good connection. This can be a family member, this can be a good friend, but it does feel like someone who holds you in high regard, and someone that, you know, is your biggest cheerleader. So if you are having a bad day, it's okay to shout out to your friends and get a little bit loved up to go to your next step. But it does feel like you have a very good ally in here, and that don't be afraid to ask for help type of thing. It does feel like you're kind of torn between some old relationships that, you know, maybe not so good for you anymore, and some relationships that are very nurturing and loving. So it does feel like you are releasing some relationships that are kind of toxic for you, that don't really work anymore, and embracing the ones that do. It doesn't matter how many people you have as friends, as long as, you know, 2 good friends can keep you going through this lifetime. You don't need to have 20 or 25. And it does look like you have clarity about that. And this is kind of a continuation of the release of toxic relationships from the last couple of months. The Ace of Pentacles is here. You know, these are aha moments. These are hand of God things. Pentacles are earthly, can be money oriented, and, you know, were you just offered a new way to make money? Were you just offered or being heralded for some talent or skill that you have? It does feel like you are much more out in the world, that you have kind of pulled up your brave pants and put some things out in the world. If it works, it does. If it doesn't, it's okay. But it does look like you have collected some more bravery, and you're kind of pushing through some of your fears and trusting yourself, being open a little bit more to making money in different ways. And but it does look, for the most part, you're pushing through those fears and walking through the gate of the unknown, and really putting some of your much needed skills out in the world. And what I mean by that is the world is in need of your skills. So it does look like because you have been brave recently, you have taken that leap of faith. I think you had the Fool card in here, which is taking a leap of faith last month. So it does look like you have started that process at either finding a new way of making money, capitalizing on your skills to make money, or seeking that promotion. Really putting down some of your fears and walking through them, trying those things. You'll never know if you can succeed. Are you a writer? Have you sent things to a publisher? You know, are you a musician? Have you sent things out on YouTube? So it does look like you took that leap of faith. You're putting your energy into the world in a physical way. and sharing your gifts. But this is the hand of God, and it is a very lucky time for you. So what a wonderful time. What a wonderful thing to do is be brave enough to walk through your fears, to give things a try. The Queen of Swords is here, and she kind of cuts through the jive. She really cuts through the BS. And because all this tumultuous stuff is right above it, it is upside down. So it does feel like you're able to really cut through the jive. Who is being sincere, who is, just sucking up to get close to you, who is, talking behind your back. You're getting a lot of clarity, and you're cutting through the jive. And it feels like you're not even really dealing with the negative Nellies anymore. If this is a person, this is an air sign. That would be Aquarius, Gemini, or Libra. But for the most part, it feels like it just stands for being in integrity, cutting through the jives. She is intuitive, and she's creative. She's mentally acute, so she can tell jive from bullshit, basically. And it does feel like you may have been dealing with people who are living small and kind of jealous of your endeavors. Not necessarily standing in your way. It was more like behind the scenes, talking behind your back. But it does feel like you've gotten clarity. You've released those people from your life. It also feels like these people may try to get back in your life, and this needy hand is hanging out there and it's kind of lighting up in my head. So it feels like a lot of these folks that you've already cut off are kind of needy, and it works much better without their needy jive around you. So for the most part, it looks like you are very intuitive, and you're able to see who is beneficial and who is a drain on your energy now. So the World is here. I love the World. The World is completion cards. This is the highest card in the major arcana. So are all your worldly dreams coming true? Did you take that leap of faith? Did you try? And it's starting to work out. It does feel like success. Honoring, being held in high regard for your gifts and your talents. And it does look like the more humble you are, the greater success you will have. Her being naked here tells me to keep it simple, raise that energy into the higher chakras, into the creative, loving, higher essence chakras, and not so much in the survival. This is the fear chakra. So if you base your decisions and your endeavors on faith and love, it does look like the world is open to you. Absolutely open to you. And this is a very lucky and fortunate time. So walk through those fears if you can. It does look like it will set up for you if you do some of the hard work at the end of this year, like right now. Say the hard things that you need to. And I know that Scorpio, you guys never shy away at saying the hard things. But delivery is everything. But the world is opened up to you because you have taken that leap of faith. You have let go of the kind of the Klingons or the succulents that have been hanging on you. It's time to focus on you, your endeavors, and to fly high. You have a lot of gifts to give out in the world, and it looks like you are ready to take that step if you haven't already. This is also the heralding card. This is the being honored for your work, being exalted. This is the 6 of Wands. So with this is motion. So the more you put out in the world, the more you will be honored. It looks like you have kind of healed some of your insecurities on whatever was bothering you for the last couple of months, not feeling that you were enough, that you didn't have what it takes. And all that looks like it has melted away, and you will be either honored for your hard work. It can mean a promotion at work. People honor your contribution here, and they hold you in high regard. So don't be surprised if you get a lot more kudos this month and into the next for all that hard work. And it does look like some of the work was behind the scenes and maybe invisible to many, but now it's being brought to the forefront, all the work that you do and how much you have allowed others to heal within your hard work. The King of Swords is here. Swords are stand in integrity as well. Kings are about completion. But the King of Swords can be an air sign. So that is Aquarius, Gemini, or Libra. Is there a air sign involved in some of this success? It does feel like it's a mentor or a partner. And King of Swords he's someone of great strength and mental acuity. He can be very scientific, can be a teacher or a community leader. And this can stand for getting out there in the world and communicating all these things that you need to communicate. He also cuts through the jive, not so violently as the Queen of Swords, but the Queen of Swords, she's just right on. She just cuts through the jive. But it does look like opening up, communicating on a broader scope is beneficial. I wouldn't say necessary, but beneficial. And it feels like don't be afraid to couple with somebody that, in business or in your artistic endeavors, but it does feel like a partnership is coming up. The love stuff is not right next to it. So it does feel like it's business oriented, maybe family oriented, but it's not within the heart space. So it does look like whatever your talent is, coupling up and partnering up is not a bad thing. It does feel like it will propel you a little quicker, two heads are better than one type thing, but it does look like you've been doing a lot of this thing single-handedly for a while. So don't be afraid to interface, and get out there and put your ideas out there and give and receive ideas from others to kind of perfect it. The 10 of Cups is right here. This is kind of a feel-good family card. It's when things are kind of have mellowed out a little bit. Those those emotions are in the rainbow there. So it does look like life is calming down for you a little bit. Some healing has taken place, whether it's emotional, physical, or spiritual. It does feel like the family as a unit has calmed down, gotten some answers. People are doing what they're supposed to do. And it does look like, Scorpio, you have pulled back a little bit from some of the family drama that was happening around you. It wasn't yours to fix. So it looks like just pulling back a little bit, letting those family members fall on their face and pick themselves up without any help or assurance from you seems to have been the better way. It does look like the family as a whole, as a unit, is kind of in a healing and joyful space, not so much in the drama space anymore. The 3 is here as the culmination card. So it does look like you have reignited some personal faith within yourself, letting go of some insecurities. Just marching through your fear has given you a little bit more security in yourself, a little bit more faith in yourself. But it does feel like faith in general is being more and more embraced this month after you have released some of your frustrations from the last couple of months. It does look like you're collecting more information. You are actually practicing your spiritual side a little bit. And for those of you that are, not connected to the God source, or, hugging a tree, whatever your God is, it does look like you are nurturing your spirit and your soul a little bit more. It is not a separate thing from your body as much. And that you are learning quite a lot about letting go and trusting. Let go, let God kind of stuff. Or let go, let a tree, whatever works for you. I totally do not want to sway anybody towards my way of thinking. You do it the way that works for you. But it does look like it embraces spirituality. And for many of you, going back to church, maybe just going back to church, or finding 5 minutes to meditate, or really trusting the God of your heart when you feel something is funky, trusting yourself and your information over everyone else's. So it does look like you have reignited your faith. On the left of this is the 2, and on the right of that is a 2. So it's really about finding your own personal balance within the chaos of life. Life doesn't slow down for us, whether we want it to or not. It doesn't. So it's about finding the balance between your body and your mind. It's about balance between work and play, about friends and family. So it's really about duplicitous things, the dichotomy of life and how they exist within all of us, but finding the middle ground within it all, Scorpio. It does look like you are open and ready to receive love in your heart. It does feel like this medical insignia is lighting up, but it feels more like a heartache, more or less than a physical ache or a body thing. It does feel like you had a kind of a blow to the heart that has happened in the past, whether it was the recent past or the distant past. But it does look like that healing has come around full circle, and either you're healing the current relationship you're in, you're open and ready to receive a new relationship. This is the soulmate card. So are you with your soulmate? Are you releasing someone that isn't your soulmate, or are you open and ready to receive that next step with that in your love space? There are a lot of Scorpios out there that are dating casually, and weren't really ready for a committed relationship. So if you are one of those Scorpios, it does look like you're ready. You're ready to share your life, and it's not just about a better than nothing type of thing. It's about sharing your life with your life partner and like minds. So, but it does look like you're doing a little bit of work on your heart, and that you're open and ready to love anew, whether it is loving your current partner in a more healthy way, opening your heart to love a brand new partner, or releasing one that no longer works for you. But it does feel more on the new love situation than anything else, rather than letting go of a love. This is the 2 of Pentacles. This is about money and physical things. So balancing your money a little bit more. I also feel like some travel. These boats are lighting up. So you may be traveling near water coming up. This is in the culmination place. So this may be very shortly. You may be traveling for the holidays, or trying to find the balance between time and money. But it does look like finding the balance between life, letting go of some of that anger, healing your heart, healing your life, and really embracing gratitude. It looks like you really put the ego down, Scorpio. I'm a Scorpio too, so I understand that. I'm not picking on you. But it's time to put the ego down and really embrace humility. And you have opened your heart, and so you're a little bit more humble, and gratitude has been embraced on a daily. It looks like really being grateful for what the gifts that you have and the things that you have are really high on your list right now. And maybe they weren't so much into focus over the last year, but it does look like you've really embraced gratitude, healing, and allowing yourself to fall and pick yourself up. So that is your general reading, Scorpio, for the month of December, the end of the year. I'm going to read a couple of these Doreen Virtue cards. Oh, there's two right there. And these are one-word past life cards. So we have health and female and male. So finding the balance, female and male, it doesn't necessarily mean because you're a female, you can't race a car. Because you're a male, you can't knit. But finding the balance of things. And I think it is the duplicitous nature of life, not so much male and female, the life of dichotomies. Up, down, dark, light, finding the balance. Which you have a couple of two cards here. So finding the balance, and what works for you may not work for others. Health, always create a focus on your health. Give to yourself as much as you give to others. Health should not be neglected. If you have something funky going on, get to the doctor. Don't ignore it until your body is screaming. So pay attention to your body. I'd say watch what you eat, but it is the holiday times, and it's not a time for that kind of advice. It's time to enjoy. But be aware of your health. Don't put yourself in situations that are harmful for you. And give yourself as much healing as you do others.